You know, and you guys sit in the economic meeting with the president. Do you ever get to tell him and say, Mr. President, we're sinking, we're going under?
Did you start sinking today? It did start sinking today.
So,
You have been sinking.
So is it not worth telling him?
In denial.
So is it not worth telling him?
No. I mean, when we go for meetings.
Oh, living in denial. So you support the subsidy removal, right?
Of course.
You support the flotation of the naira.
Subsidy removal was long overdue. And what was happening? What was happening is that big men like you and I, we are the ones.
Your Excellency, I'm not a big man.
You're a big man. You live in VI. For you to live in VI, you're a big man.
So,
in fact, I'm even afraid of you. When I heard that you live in VI, in Lagos, I used to stay in Lekki.
I
couldn't afford VI.
At least you own a home. I don't own a home in VI.
well, we have to find out whether you own. Even being a tenant, to have mind to be a tenant in VI, that means that you are not a big man.
I'm a tenant, Your Excellency.
No, but the point is this.
Yes.
There are a lot of things that we should have done. My interventions in this day.
I read
written extensively about this subsidy. So it was a scam. We just needed to do something.
Also floating the naira?
Sorry?
Also floating the naira too?
Floating the naira, I had also written about it. But you see, I think what happened was that the two things happened about the same time.
Which was not a good one.
But then, over time, I believe that this economy, if we keep at it, the economy would rebound. Now, are you surprised that inflation at 24%? What's the interest rate?
Well, it's super high. Going up to 30% for some businesses.
It goes with interest rate. So if it will keep chasing you, no matter how much you rebase. So that's what it is.
But the hardship on people, the fact that their naira is not worth anything
very
again,
unfortunate.
and you feel that in your state. Do you tell that to the president sometimes?
It's very unfortunate.
But see,
some of the sacrifices must be made. If you don't make them today, you will make them tomorrow. Or the economy will go up in flames.
But Mr. Governor, saying it's very unfortunate does not put food on the table of a hungry person. And people will die of hunger, and people are dying.
And saying it is fortunate will also not put food on the table. So you need to do something about it. We're just talking. We need to do something about it.
So what are you doing about it?
One of the things that we are doing is to ensure that we create an environment where productivity will happen. Part of the problem with the exchange rate is because we are not producing much. It's because we are not exporting anything other than oil. It's because we are importing everything from the profane to the profound. We import toothpicks. We import bottled water. Should we be doing that? So that puts a lot of pressure on the foreign exchange market. And until we reverse that, until we produce, do you know how much we spend importing food? Palm oil that Malaysians took from here in Umuahia. We are now buying from them. So these are things that need to be done.
So what are you doing as regards agriculture? If they took the palm oil out from Umuahia, and you are saying Malaysians are bringing it, but I thought you would have jumpstart the palm kernel revolution again.
Are doing
so how many tonnage are you producing now?
No, it's still early days.
Early days?
It's still early days.
But people are hungry.
Oh yeah, you have to. I say, so if you are asking how many tonnage, it's early days because we just came.
Okay.
In Okwa, we have a multinational company that is partnering with us to remove the old trees and replant them. In rubber, in cocoa, we are in rice. In fact, today we are producing rice in Owerenta. So, but it's still early days. So it's not time to blow the trumpet because we need quite a lot of time.
Governor Otti, make me understand this. Your IGR in a month is, and your federal allocation in a month is how much? Small amount. But you're doing so many things. You want to build an airport, counterpart funding, you're producing this, you're producing that, you're clearing the debt. I mean, how are you doing it? You said it's a trade secret earlier on, but people would like to know this trade secret. Maybe other governors can use it. I mean, because...
No, okay, so the first thing is prudence.
Okay.
Prudence. Okay, so one of the easiest things for me to do would have been to start building a new government house. not like it's very comfortable. But I know that if I use the money to put into dealing with maybe the road, I will empower a whole lot of people who ordinarily didn't have access. So you have prudence, then you have economies of scale. What is most important? You need to sit down. As a student of economics, I have my priorities listed. So, and I know that if the man in Ariara market cannot get to the market, he cannot add to my GDP. So, he cannot add to my internally generated revenue. I know that if the woman in Bende cannot access her farm, then she's not going to be useful, not to her family or to the government. I know that if I am sick and I cannot get attention from the primary health care center, then I will be useless to the economy. And that's why when we came, we looked at the 948 primary health care centers in Abia. We went around. All of them were in a mess. And we said, okay, we'll put some 8-9 billion in the budget for renovating 200 primary health care centers in 100 days. That is happening now. By next month, it will be 100 days, and 200 primary health centers will be delivered. We will take another 200 after this one, until we get the 948. We looked at the schools. We found that a lot of our children no longer want to go to school. You see them early in the morning, hawking banana and granite, kara and all that. So I was embarrassed because I grew up here. And my parents were not rich, but I went to school. And I knew that if these children would not go to school, then they wouldn't have the opportunity that I had. And I said, okay. I wasn't even too sure what the problem was, whether it was the school fees or they just didn't want to, they wanted to make money. So, and I set up a task force. I said, first of all, I said, let's know how much do we make from school fees. Go back to 2023. Go back to 2022. The numbers were almost the same. And it was nothing. I said, if I take away the school fees, would it be an incentive for these children to go back to school? I'm not sure. I said, okay, I'll take away the school fees, but I'll set up a task force to force those.
So, Abia has some free education now?
Of course. I said, I will force those that don't want to go to school. Do you know what happened? I set up the task force. And I made an announcement. I said, anybody that will see of school age that was not in school, we are going to arrest him. Not because we wanted to keep him. We want the parents to come so that we can exchange them with their parents. We've not got one person. In fact, the task force that we set up is now going around to ensure compliance, that there is no school where school fees are charged and that teachers are teaching. So I looked at the explosion when the announcement was made in terms of enrollment was so much. And we found that we didn't have teachers. And what did we do? We now said, okay, you know what? There are a lot of people. We are talking of civil servants and all that. I said, a lot of people don't have jobs. If you are qualified, we opened up a portal. Please apply. We went to hire 5,000 teachers. And in 1 week, we got 17,000 applications. The second week, it climbed to 30-something thousand. And we shut the portal. We now tested them, and today, 4,600 have been hired. We want to take another 4,000 so that we can fit them into those schools. We are renovating all the schools. Okay? So that's what it is. It's not rocket science. So it's just about being prudent, being deliberate, having a plan.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? And keeping to it. Of course, there's another part of it that's very, very important. The people that you are working with. I don't care where you come from. I'm sure you may have heard that my head of service is from Edo State. I sit down and interview them. And when I interviewed them, and I found he was number one. I went to the head of service.
Okay, so what's the primary school enrollment rate now, uptake, since this new scheme started in Abia?
I don't even, it's been crazy. I don't even, I've lost count
The
of the
data.
numbers. People are just streaming. Well, again, what I also found is that a lot of people are leaving the private schools to come to public schools. Because, of course, you have the good quality, you have good teachers, we are renovating the place. And I called the commissioner for education, and I said, we need to now think of what to do to the very serious private school operators, because we also don't want them to be, they also contribute to the economy. How are we going to maybe support the students? So these are some of the things. And then in terms of healthcare, I mean, that's before the end of the month of May, we believe that the president will come to commission that Port Harcourt road that we will soon see. But there's something else we are doing with healthcare. As soon as we came in, as part of our manifesto, we had promised that we would reverse medical tourism from India. You know the number.
Yeah,
over $2 billion.
Over $2 billion, yeah.
Every year.
Yeah.
So we said we've set up a medical village. And we've been working on it for almost 2 years now. And to the glory of God, by about the 23rd of May, we are going to...
How much did that cost you?
Okay, so it's not going to cost me any money. It's going to cost $1.3 billion. The money is coming from elsewhere. Okay. Yeah, and our partners are bringing the money. They will build, they will manage, they will operate. And transfer.
Who are your partners?
MKP Global.
Okay.
And they've done something like that in Singapore.
Okay. So where's it going to be located?
Sorry?
Where's it going to be located?
It's going to be located in Abia.
Abia.
You passed the site as you were coming from the airport.
So 23rd of May is going to be the groundbreaking?
Yeah.
Of it.
Would you come?
Okay, I mean, I'll take the chance if I'm around. I mean, as we wrap up, let's talk about the legacy of Dr. Pascal Dozier. Because I know...
The legacy of...
Dr. Pascal Dozier.
Oh, okay.
Because this was somebody dear to you, and he's going to start his journey home very soon, and he passed at the ripe age of 85.
Yes, well, I'd done my condolence, and I'd also spoken to the first son who succeeded me in that. He was a good man. He actually did his best. Unfortunately, which I think is the reason why he departed this quickly. His major strength was Auntie Chi, the wife, who is also sick. In fact, the last time I saw him, he was lamenting how Auntie does not even recognize anybody who cannot offer help. So I believe that that was part of why he left.